We're on. We're on. Hello, everybody. Just timing out. Bit of an impromptu engagement. Bloody hell's my clock on this? How you doing? Right, set an hour. I'm gonna leave it a little minute or so before I set the timer, but I'm all good. If anyone's dropped on, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining the stream. Is anyone there? Is anyone there? You know, I just need acknowledgement. I need one person to say hi just so I know, because at this moment in time, nobody's there. Oh, we've got one. Got one. One. Hello, that one person. Is this chat on? Am I able to see any chat? Top chat. Live chat. All messages are visible. Yes. Great Brit. Thank you, mate, for getting in the hot seat. Thank you to the other person. I do believe there's someone joining you, Great Brit. Oh, we've got three. We're jumping up a little bit. Are we still getting over the Valentine's Day blues? Is that what it is? Wow. Four? I don't know why it's so slow in jumping up. Is it? These people can't be asked. Is it a Saturday night? Is it Friday night rather? Are people just out? Shocking out. Hasn't come up on notifications yet. Right. Okay then. That's a bit bizarre, Great Brit. Do you not think? Because it should technically come up with everybody, shouldn't it? At the same time, no matter where they are, if they are subscribed to this channel, shouldn't it technically be sending out over 20,000 notifications instantaneously? I'm fine, Reality World. Thank you for jumping on, mate. Do I have chinky ancestry? What is that supposed to mean, M-Doll? Really, what is that supposed to mean? I want you to break that down because I don't even know where you want me to go with that. Thank you, Reality. Cheers, mate. Cheers. I do try. It's getting very busy at this moment in time. I will say that. Will say that. So we've got 8 people on now. We've got 1 like. 10 people. It's jumping up a little bit. Jumping up a little bit. Hello, everybody, for this impromptu kind of gathering. Hope you're doing well. Hello. Hi, Janaea. Janaea's on. How you doing? No, it's the bright light, pal. It's the bright light. Definitely. Are you coming to Mank, Janaea? Nice one. Nice one. Hopefully we'll get together, eh? Well, thank you anyway. All right, well, I guess it's not jumping up as quick as I'd like, so I guess I'm just going to get on with it. Wow, this is a low number. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it is a notification thing. I've no idea. Everyone's coming in. Yeah, more and more people. So I guess I'll just start. I've started an hour. It's Friday night. People don't want to be here all night. Oh. A little brief before I start. Oh, we've got 26 now. 29. Here we go. More and more people. Nice one. The lights are going up. No notifications. That's pretty sinister, that. Do you not think? No, I won't be. March the 23rd. No, I won't be, mate. Philip. Oh, look. The Sunday name's out already. You know when you drink a brew and it burns your lips? I've got it in a flask cup, and I've just assumed that it's going to be at drinking temperature. So I've got that tingling on my lips now that I know is going to irritate me all night with whatever I'm eating. But yes, right, okay, okay. Oh, nice one, Harry. You got a notice. Well, cheers anyway for everyone who's jumped on. Maybe more will jump on, maybe not. Maybe more will jump off. Who knows? But is there any kind of reason for this stream tonight? No. The only thing I want to do is kind of gauge where everyone is. Yeah? Where what you're feeling, where you're emotionally at with everything that's going on. It's not a blame game, but just generally with everything that is happening within the movement, outside of the movement, online, whatever it is, the connotation to the wider world, how does it make you feel? Yeah. To be honest, I've been pretty quiet over the past few days because I've got several things that I'm concentrating on myself. I'm trying not to get involved in what other people are doing too much. But at the same time, I've been having a lot of phone calls with different people over the last few days. Right, let me, instead of me rambling, because I've invited you in to hear your feelings, let me see what's going on here. Yeah, I know. VCH. No, Harry, I won't be going to the Panorama thing on the 23rd, mate. No, I won't be. I don't even know where my movements are going to be. I think I'm going to try and get to London for the 29th. I'm going to try and do that. Cheers. Thank you for all the positivity. I did this one, but right, okay. Okay, so just a general chit chat of where you're at. The Jews. Why? Why the Jews? Why are we on the Jews? Hello, Candy Kane. You all right? Cheers, Ace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stop resonate. I don't know what's going on. So, where are you at? Where do you feel? I mean, do you feel things are out of your control? Do you feel that things are happening and you've got no way of stopping them, or do you truly think that everything that is going on within the movement is being done to demonize us solely, as in whatever actions that happen within this movement, well, we kind of don't take too much responsibility for. So then when the negative connotation comes against that, the mitigation is that the establishment are against us. I don't know. I mean, how do you feel? Yeah. Hello, Rose. Hi there. You all right? Hello, mate. Afra. Oh, that's some name, that. Sipping Courvoisier. Yes, I. You're on the cognac. I passed the cognac factory in France when I was over there. Yeah, Sarah. Pag and Shatterboys, what they're doing is absolutely fantastic. Cheers. We got a Cheetah Mill. Cheetah Mill lad there. Nice one. I wish I could slow this chat down. We had a black hole with finance. Oh, it's going too quick. This. I need to stop this. Right. Let me try and do this properly. Okay, because I'm trying to get. What do you think of the yellow vest protest in France? Well, let me start with that. I've not watched any footage in a long while, to be honest. I truly, in my heart of hearts, I want a yellow vest isk movement, it needs to happen. I do feel the disorientation with the working class, with the public, has to be articulated through a movement, certainly. For me, it has to be uber positive. Otherwise, you're kind of rubbing against the green. It also has to appeal to everyone. It has to have such a basic talking point that it is what I would regard as paradigmless. Well, Stealthily Nation. Oh, wow, mate. I don't know. I won't go that far because what's been happening over the past few weeks is representative of a minority within the yellow vest, isn't it? And it's always the case. Now, I know personally, and I've got to say this as accurate as I can, no matter what I feel about how positive the yellow vest is and what the likelihood of the yellow vest movement succeeding, irrelevant to that, I know fundamentally the majority of people within it have got legitimate concerns and desires about the decline of the country in so many ways. What I am feeling from the yellow vest is that they are struggling to get that point out in a concise, short, snappy, simplified manner so the average person who is not even affiliated with any of this can associate with it instantly. And I can't see that. Even the movements that have been there before, i.e., your DFLA, the FLA, the vets, all other organisations, the way they went about it, you instantly knew and grabbed onto it. I don't feel that with the vest, but I'm not. In some ways, I feel possibly it's been rushed. It's not been thought through. It's looked positive from France for, oh yeah, they're doing a good job. Let's us use that, and we've run with it without thinking about and strategizing each and every move, what you want to achieve. The fact that there's a leadership or not lack of leadership or lack of a centralized hub of people, because I don't believe in a one person, oh well, let's all just push that. No, you might have one person that can speak well, that can do this, but my idea would be for if you had a yellow vest movement, any movement. I mean, using any yellow vest now is such a, in some terms, a negative connotation. And I'm not knocking the yellow vest movement. I'm knocking the way it's been perceived and the way it will carry on to be perceived. One, through actions of certain individuals, and two, because the establishment per se want to shut that figure down big time. So it does make you think to yourself, if personally, if I had a manifesto, I would make it simple, that would be attractive to everyone. And then with that manifesto, I would have a representative of each of them titles. So if for me, if I'm going to do child abuse or abuse per se, regardless of demographic, regardless of anything, I would have someone within the child abuse organizations, someone who is well respected, someone who is intelligent, someone who knows how to act online, in front of a camera, and when he's sat with his wife. Mistakes will happen, human beings are human beings, but the way you're perceived is the way your movement is going to be perceived. So, if people wind you up online, it is up to you as an intelligent human being to go, right, I can see where this might lead, even though this person has said this, that, and that to me. I've got full legitimacy to say in no uncertain terms how I feel about that person. But yet, we're living in the world of the screenshot. We're living in a world where things can just be blown out of context with one screenshot that won't explain the conversation that built to that. So we've got to be careful. Well, yeah, certainly, Ace. Certainly. So the yellow vest, if I'm going to be honest, the way I perceive the yellow vest at this moment in time, and it's not because of the majority of the people within it, it's because of the minority of people within it that have seemed to have took hold of it and made it theirs in a way, or be polarized for the way they are as characters. Either way, there's an element where it seems a little bit ragged and a little bit reckless and a little bit disorientated. That's how it's perceived to me. Now, I'm not saying that as if to say it means nothing, because I truly want an organization like this to work. Something like this has to work, you know? His bald head has the shadows the wrong way. My bald head. You get a sunburn off this, the reflection of my head. Okay, so yeah, we've got to make any movement thrive, and you've got to think of the possibility and the likelihood in this environment for anything to thrive. Because what they want to do in this country, they want to marginalise. How do you feel about Anne-Marie Waters and Gerard Batten? Change will only come through the ballot box. Possibly, yeah. With them two, I don't know. I've had a brief conversation with Gerard Batten. He's a gentleman. He's a lovely guy. Lovely guy. In terms of things that he said, his straw man's been built up in certain statements that he's made about Islam per se, for me, and what other people would regard him as, even if he's the loveliest, most gentle person, you know? I mean, same again. You've got to be careful in what you say. We can all get caught up in the moment. We all make mistakes. And we do all get wound up about certain issues, which will mean that you come out and say things. Being a politician, every word that you say is micro-analysed, and they know the world of doublespeak. So even if you say something with the best intentions, through doublespeak, they will try and spin it so you meant it in the flip way, because that's the way that politically they can only get at you if they can't beat your argument. So we know that we're in that environment, so you don't make it easy. You don't make it easy. So with a lot of political members that's been going on right now, Gerard Batten and Anne-Marie Waters, as much as they might wear the heart on the sleeve, there's certain things, possibly both of them have said, that will at least keep them in the box that the media would like them to be in. Whether we think that that is correct or not through freedom of speech, whether we think that is right or not, that is our reality. We cannot change that. Great Britain, I was saying before, only that we've all got to learn, whether we like it or not, we have to play the game. We have to play the game. We've got to get through this by being as cautious as possible, knowing the boundaries that we're in, and trying to still succeed within them boundaries. Now, it's not easy. Not easy when your country's burning. It's not easy when your press is not listening to you, and it's not easy when they'll demonize you even when you're nice. But it is easy prey. I mean, I'm going to read this because this plays into what I'm talking about. This is something that was sent to me by a chap. Now, this is a Twitter posting from someone within the movement who has recently been headline news, okay? Now, this is dated back from a year ago because I don't even know whether this person's on Twitter now. And it starts with hashtag Afua Hirsch. And it must be regarding this person's statement on ripping down Nelson's column. You know, when there was a lot of national monuments are racist kind of mentality going round. So the ridiculous come out, and every monument, every brass plaque had to be melted down because it was all part of colonial. You know what? That stupid cycle that we were the mainstream media was trying to push on us and everyone. Well, this must have been about then because it's reverting to knocking down Nelson's column. So this person has put in answer to hashtag Afua Hirsch. And then it's put, wants our government to tear down Nelson's column. Who does she think she is? Listen, Afua. Listen, Afua. This isn't Africa. This is Britain, where we respect the rule of law and our great history. If you don't like it, then kindly find the nearest exit and fuck off back to Bongoland. So what do you do with that? What do you do with that? If that person then goes out and starts wearing a yellow vest and then starts screaming at all kinds of people because the guy's passionate, do you think that that person's going to get very far and succeed in this movement? And when he's got the obligation of a whole movement behind this person, do you think that person has an obligation to think, well, you know what? The way I conduct myself as an individual is pretty paramount. If I'm going to react, I'm going to try. We've all done it. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But same again, that's been dug up from someone's prehistory. So that maybe this person back then wasn't as popular as they are now. So when something controversial has happened a year later, boom, they'll go back and they'll see it. Skegness, it could have been. It could have been. But I think we know what we're talking about, mate. And so, do you put that down as banter? I've heard a bit about that over the past few days. Where this is where I'm going. It's the optical outlook that people who have got a position of authority within, you've got to adhere to. I mean, everyone has. Even as a representative of the movement, you guys now on this comment section, you've got an obligation to try and come across in the best way you can. Might not be easy. You might want to say something. You might want to totally react. You might be getting slapped verbally by someone, but then you've got the choice of either playing their game or being the bigger and better person. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I fall for it. And, we're all human beings. But when you drop a bollock, when you're on a pedestal, that bollock's dropping quite far, isn't it? And then not only is the bollock dropping far for you personally, but then the movement. So then you've got people within the movement who have then in a position that out of probably what I would regard as blind loyalty, they're going to defend you because they probably know maybe it was out of context, maybe it was wrong. But fundamentally, we've got to ask ourselves the question, if these were the actions of people on the left, on the other side, you would not appease to that. You would not go, well, you wouldn't, you'd slam it. So you've got to hold your hands up and go, fucking hell, we can't be doing this. We can't. We cannot be doing it. We can't be getting angry. We can't be acting in a certain way. Online, we've got to be very intelligent and responsible and reasonable in the way we talk. But who am I? I was saying, we were talking, me, Great Britain and I were talking before about this. 6 to 8 months ago, the first videos I was putting out in regards to the decline of the movement, and I took the most stick for it, and I didn't mind because I knew I could see what I was seeing, and You know, if people don't want to see it, then that's another issue. But I got the vibe that I was getting stick solely because people did not want to address the fact that that might be a possibility. Now, let's fast forward 6 months. From what I was saying back then, have I got more of a point now? Or is it still being divisive to still bring that up? Or is it intelligent to think if we don't talk about this and we don't iron out the creases, then we're going to keep falling for it? You're going to wait till next week and then the next headlines, and then the week later, the next headlines. So that's all I've been trying to do for the past 6, 7 months. So in my own rant, I kind of went, sod this. I'm having nothing to do with it. I'm having nothing. And I feel bad for doing that. I feel I've let people down. And now I've done it, I can see even more that I had a point. I can see certain members that have become more prominent for all the positivity that they're trying to do. In some ways, it's damaging the movement more than it's helping it. But that is my opinion, you know, and I feel sorry because, like I say, I've been on the phone all week this week, and pretty much I'm on like an average call rate of 3 to 4 calls a day, with it being major YouTubers, major people on Facebook, and they're all saying the same thing. They're all totally in agreement, you know, of the way we're all going. So this is why I wanted to do this stream tonight, not to start going, oh, look at him, look, he said that. I'm not, I'm just highlighting the negative as if to say, listen, this is what they're picking up on, guys. Do you want to fall for this? So this is what the big question is. The question is, I'm going to put out to you guys now, with everything I've just said, there's two ways of thinking. You can either be bothered by the environment it's creating and the ammunition that it's giving, or you can use it as if to say, I don't really give a shit, and you know what, it's about time that they need it, and you know they're treating us bad anyway and no one listens, so why should we care? That to me, that's where we're at within this movement. We've got a split of camp, because I've seen people, even, you know, the most staunchest Tommy Robinson fans saying, whoa, dude, whoa. But Tommy Robinson is a human being, just like James Goddard is a human being. So I'm not going to sit here on a pedestal and start going, but we've got to fundamentally own it. We can't just brush it off, oh, well, that was just banter. Oh, and I've just learnt my lesson. When in reality, I've been getting footage from Speaker's Corner that's been showing a pattern that could say, well, this will happen again if you don't address it properly. You cannot lose unless you quit. True. Yeah. Yeah, movements that infiltrate. So you've got that as well. You have got that. Are we going to get a Brexit? Someone asked me. Whew, Jesus. If you're going to ask me personally, and this is without me even looking at politics and all the press, the way they juggle the facts round and try and demonize in, I could have told you this from the moment that David Cameron was coming out and trying to emotionally blackmail people. Remember when he was saying that you're giving ISIS the upper hand by coming out of the EU? You know, he was throwing every negative connotation to try and get people to consider that you don't want to do this, instead of letting democracy. This is, you know, it's up to you guys. It's up to you. You don't want to physically. It's like me saying to a guy, right, don't walk around that corner because there's a geezer going to smack you in the face. When in reality, I don't even know whether the geezer's around the corner, but I sure know I'm going to make that geezer double think as to whether he walks around the corner. So all I can say to him is, mate, I don't know what's around that corner. All I can say is go round and have a look for yourself. You know what I mean? And the chances are there'll be no one around that corner. So there's an element of fear mongering that they were doing. So from that moment that they were doing that, I knew that we were getting hoodwinked. And I can pretty much certainly tell you that they will punish us and they will punish us. And they've not finished yet because the yellow vest was about Brexit. They've managed to put a nice little Islamophobia, a nice little racist connotation to the yellow vest. They've managed to package it all. And when you've got tweets like that, you know, so when we've got articles now where you're looking at certain movements, it says Brexit campaigner, and then it's got boom, 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 keyword, keyword. So that is only psychological. One, to get people off revolting in a civil way, albeit, and two, to literally stop people from this Brexit idea because they're going to try everything. I don't think we're going to get it. I personally don't think we're going to get it. If you think the establishment have got disdain for us now every time you make a move, they don't give a shit about you as an individual, whether you want in Brexit or out Brexit. You know that? What you do know is they want you in that cabal. So everything around it is the game in order to get you in that position, whether it be politically, whether it be using media, you know, whether it be going to restaurants and seeing on the bottom of a frigging receipt about Brexit, about how negative it is to think that you may want democracy and Brexit. So it's a political quagmire that they're going to keep you in, and they're going to keep you in this dance, jumping round and round. But anyone with a brain in the head knows that they've been doing it for 2 years. They don't want you out. And I'll be very surprised if we do get out. And I'll be very surprised if we got any kind of political leader who's got the balls to call it for that, because they're going to get in their own little political career move and think, oof, don't want to rock the boat with these guys above me. You know what I mean? Infiltration again. You don't know what they might have on political leaders. They're so dirty. The whole thing is so corrupt and dirty. It is unbelievable. And it goes from politicians to police to the NHS to the care system to everything around us, to conglomerate companies just working us down to, you know, the food you eat, to conglomerate companies just piling shit down you and your kids, all kinds of ease with all kinds of nasty synthetic shit that will give you diseases all down the line. They don't want to tell you. They don't want to put it on labeling. So it's from everywhere. Everywhere. Oh, what did you think of the R. Kelly thing, mate? Now you've watched it, because there was a lot. I kind of crammed it in 2 days. I was literally sleep deprived and everything. It was very damning. That's why I done the video after it, because I could not believe it. But so where does the movement go from here? Do you just carry on? Yeah, they do want you to revolt. They want you to revolt in the what I would regard as the lowest nomination. They want you to revolt on a social media in the lowest nomination. So psychologically, they're winding people up, and because people are angry, frustrated, and they can see the lack of transparency, and they can see the contradiction and the hypocrisy, people are kicking out. You're gonna, you know what I mean? But it's how you kick out. How you kick out. What do you think about the latest Tommy Robinson thing? Well, I kind of touched on that a little bit. I'll go there a little bit more if you want. Um, damning. Damning. Everyone has their own little conversations in private. But some of the things that are said in banter that he regards as banter, I think That's not banter. It's not. It's going way too far now. Some people have got a totally different humor, so there's an element of that. Um, some people are crude in the way they come across. Some people come across as heartless in their sense of humor. Some people are very considerate in their sense of humor. Some people are very respectful in their sense of humor. So, same again about the obligation thing of who you are as a representative. If I'm in a chat and I'm seeing all kinds of conversations and some things I'm like, it's up to me. I've got two choices whether I engage in that with that kind of low nomination kind of chat, or I kind of think, you know what? No, I'm not going there. Not going there. Um, is a human being. He's entitled to have little bits of banter on private chats. Um, I do think obviously someone has took exception, or someone. See, same again. We've got to get it in context. Why was this put out? Was this put out because someone was out of sheer greed? Was this put out because of infiltration? Or was this put out because someone was pissed off with what was going on within the chat? I don't know. Could be any one of them. It's not me to know. So in a way, I can't just make a formal decision because I don't know the whole context. Um, in terms of talking about gay, fucking hell. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? Is that banter? I don't know. I can't say for sure. It does not sound good. Same again, if you are prepared to go there on an open forum, utilizing the internet, even if it's been put out of context, it's still a context that the media are going to grab hold of and go, thank you very much. I'll put a little bit of seasoning on that, and there you go. Sunday papers all over it. So your banter is really your downfall. If it is banter, regardless of that, regardless whether it was banter, whether it was truth, the fact that he's used the PAKI, I've grown up with terminologies, hearing that ever since I was young. I have grown up. I've been in this movement and been sat in the car with people that openly use that terminology. Yeah. And I have questioned certain people in a nice, respectful way. Why do they have to say it like that when you could just say a Pakistani man? Now, we all know, regardless, if I am calling someone a Pakistani man, I am describing what he's all about. I'm not then going to demean his intelligence by saying the reason why I've called you a PAKI is because I am using abbreviation. No, we don't do that, do we? Particularly with that, because with that word, there's what I call currency and value to that word. Just like when you use other words against other people, when you want to get under the skin, it's not designed to make someone feel good. It's not designed to be respectful. It is a derogatory term off the bat, regardless. People know that you're not being respectful when you use that terminology, and you don't have to. This is the point. You don't have to, even if you know of a fact that displays 84% of grooming gangs tend to be of 5% more Muslim population on a broader level, that you've got more of a Pakistani in Bangladeshi origin. Even though you know of the stuff in the country, you use what I would regard as inflaming language like that when you're trying to put out the message that you're not talking about all Muslims, and I'm not racist because I've got this mate and I've got that mate. In my world, you've pissed on your chips, because what you've then done, regardless of any Tommy fan thinking he didn't mean it, it was out of context, you've got people external, okay, who may not like Tommy, who may think, well, I've got an open mind, but they're going to fill their own conformity bias from that one word. So regardless of what video he puts up later, I mean, probably he was saying it was cringeworthy, but in regards what he should have really done, he should have totally profusely apologized and said that is not a reflection of him as a human being. Even that wouldn't get you out of shit, but it's a start. To just put it down to banter, I don't know whether it was the best idea. You're probably building your straw man there, and you've got people that are against you that will never ever believe that, and they've now got something on you that now within the headline. So instead of it saying Tommy Robinson, ex-EDL, Stephen Yaxley, Lennon, all the negative connotations, to give him a slap before they've actually got in the story. Now they can say he was boasting about scoring every country that he goes to, every city he goes to. He's even called city shitholes and stuff. I mean, fucking hell, you just don't. Common sense. I'm not going to go to London and start going, oh, geez, yeah, I'm in this shithole. Yeah, I'm just not. Because I know I'm disrespecting a lot of people, even though I could walk to Manchester. I could take you 2 minutes from here and find a proper, place that you're not going to want to walk at night. But I'm certainly got, you just don't. It's common sense. So, politically, I don't know. I guess he's done the damage limitation things and put out a video and whatnot. But, I mean, one thing I will say in regards to the gay thing, I mean, in order to say that there was an implication where how likely would it be for anyone to score gay in what is regarded as an Islamic country or a Sharia governed country? Now, that off the bat sounds all right, makes sense. Yeah, you ain't gonna get it there. Fuck, you know what I mean? Sorry, I need to be building my swear jar. But in reality, you can get gay in any country, any city in the world. Just because it's governed by Islam or Sharia law or Christianity or whatever. It does not matter. I can be in the Tibetan hills and still probably, if I was that way inclined, it's the way it is. It's the way it is. It is global. And the very reason why I say that is that I'll read something out. And this is not to, we all make mistakes. So I'm not here to, we all make mistakes. But I've got to say, this is why you've got people on the other side that will never buy into the video we put out after it. They will never buy it because there's too many things that can appear like they might fall down. So it got me thinking, right, okay. The one thing Tommy said, do you really believe that I could have got gay in an Islamic country? And I'd say, yeah. Not just because of you, but if you were putting a broader question out, can you get gay? I'd say, fuck yeah, right? And the reason why I say that, opium production if in Afghanistan, okay? Pre 9/11, it was roughly about 3 to 4% of the global usage of poppy heroin, yeah? Now, what a lot of people don't know, probably won't want to know, is that pre 9/11, the Taliban was trying to eliminate the poppy, and it was working. They were shutting it down. Now, I'm not saying it was all working and everyone was jolly about it. I'm sure dirty stuff was still going on, but generally speaking, it was at such low level. Now, well, after 9/11, honestly, some of the figures, it's gone up to like nearly 96, 97% of the opium outlet globally. So what's made it go that way? Is that Western intervention or was that Taliban? Now that's still done with a country that is Islamic. Yeah? And you've got the main production of opium that is in an Islamic country that we all know. How many times have we seen poppy fields where we've got our own soldiers walking around manning the poppy fields? One thing that I remember hearing when we first went into Afghanistan, I heard that the first thing that we done was to secure the poppy fields when we went in, because it's a lucrative business. So then when you look at the figures that have gone up to crazy levels since 9/11, so to then think, well, how easy would it be in Qatar? We know cocaine is not produced in Afghanistan, it's probably more South America or whatever, but drugs are global, they get everywhere, don't they? You know? So if anyone's trying to tell me that I can't score anything if I went to Qatar or if I went to Bahrain or one of even Saudi bloody Arabia, you know what I mean? They've got a heavy drinking law. You try to tell me I couldn't get a drink if I really wanted one? We know that's not the case. So the reasoning behind, oh well, it was all banter, it falls down a little bit. It does appear more likely that it may have been a little bit more nearer to the truth than not, but I can't say for sure because I don't know the guy well enough. All I do know is that if that's your type of banter, then wow, you're mashing up this movement, and in a sense, you're gonna create such a wave for yourself personally that can you then cry victim 6 months down the line? Because a lot of it, you can argue you may have yourself to blame. Now, we all make mistakes, we all do it, and we all have to pay the consequences for it, unfortunately, no matter what you do in life. So, what's happening with Brian Harvey? I have no idea, my friend. No idea. I hope he's well. I hope he's in a good place mentally, and I hope he's getting through and working through what's been going on. Well, I've kind of spoke about James Goddard, but James Goddard arrest, it's probably overplayed as it always is. But same again, he's repeated the pattern. I don't think there was any alternative that the police had. Even if it does appear what they're arresting him for with all the stuff that goes on in the world. I get it. I totally get it. But if you're a leader of if you're there at the front of a movement and you're acting in such a kind of a reckless way, you know, offering out a freaking, saying to a journalist that you're going to take his head off, saying to a journalist that you're going to get what is another organisation, which was the football lad. So I was assuming he was talking about the DFLA. So what, you're dragging the DFLA in to do your dirty work. Now, there may have been members of DFLA that might have gone, mate, I see this journalist, he's down. I don't know. There will be elements within there. Freaking hell, we've got to be realistic. But the common sense of doing that when the geezer had a body cam on and someone else was filming it, so it's undisputable what he's done and the way he's done it. To further it more, the image of him with the Muslim lady, no matter what the Muslim lady was saying, yep, her head's twisted, yep, in this twisted world, say all them things, but you've got to raise up your self-esteem and go, you know what, I ain't falling for that low nomination stuff. You ain't turning me into a fishwife in the middle of Piccadilly frigging Gardens or the Manchester High Street, that then all the media want to go click, click, clickety click and do that. So then when they do that, because I've emotionally put myself out there, I can then not complain when the political wave, the media wave, then comes and goes slap, slap, slap. That's how I personally feel. I very rarely get back on my comment section and whatnot. As you know, I'm not really active on comments. I do read them, but there's an element of me that whatever I think personally and whatever either comes out my mouth or I write, I type of two different things. And even if I am as angry as I am, what I'll try and do, I'll try and measure the anger either through the comment or through the video. Now, I am human. Sometimes that don't work, hence me having a freaking swear glass. So I know, but I then think, well, from the actions of this, where does the yellow vest movement go? Because it is being castigated and it's only been conceived 2-3 months ago. It's got such a negative vibe that if these people are still visible at the front of this movement, you've got to argue, are they a help at this point or are they hindering the positivity of the movement going forward? How is Eddie? You know what? Eddie tried calling me before. I was in a restaurant with my wife. We was having a nice Italian, so I couldn't really speak to him. I stink of garlic now, I'm afraid, but I'm sure you can smell it. And so I did say I'd ring him later. I tried ringing him later, and he never answered the phone. He's tried ringing him again later on, and it never answered. I texted him and said, right, mate, I won't be able to ring you till probably tomorrow now, but I really do want to catch up with you. And he's just texted back before, cool. Now, as far as I'm aware, Eddie, my man, is doing all right last time I spoke to him. So, yeah, I think he's doing okay from what I see. But I need a proper chat to get in deep on what he's been working on and where he sees what's been going on and whatnot. So, it's very complex, all this. So, this is why I've done this stream, because all this, you think to yourself, well, if I'm feeling this, and I could be privy to maybe more conversations through people higher up in the food chain in terms of this movement than a lot of people on this stream, maybe not. Maybe you guys have got a lot more angles on influential people as well, you know what I mean? But if I'm feeling this, what is the person who hasn't got that connection with your James Goddards or with, you can't reach them, but you believe in what they're trying to do. But at the same time, with this happening, with that happening, with this being said, with that being said, you just, oh. So if I'm feeling like this, God knows what you guys are feeling like. And that's really why I wanted to do this stream. Hello there. Oh, Enoch. Oh. Sarah, the next. Yeah, it is a generational struggle. Vo. Is that how I pronounce it, mate? Vo? Because instead of me just abbreviating the letters. It is. Well, we've got to slow it down. We have got to slow it down. Because if you think how many years it's took to get this in, on an incremental, very slow drip drip. Yeah? Because if you do it too quick, people wake up and they will rebel against it. So what they've been able to do, they've been able to really slowly steps. And it's waking a few people as it's going, but then few people are getting, oh, this guy's a Nazi, this guy's crazy. It's been all that. And now it's like almost to the average person now, even if you're not on YouTube, even if you don't really inform yourself, you only have to look at the odd story now and see the odd headline to scratch your head and think this world's messed up. So even in that itself is red pilling, but then people shy away because they just want to live a good life. So they put the blinkers on, and as long as they're doing all right, so big up Red Philly on Red Pilly. Nice one, Nero. Hope you're not named after a brutal Roman emperor. Because he was a nutter, mate. He was a nutter. Wasn't he the one that married his horse? Right, let me have a look at these comments now. Sorry, guys, I'm going to do the cardinal sin. Cardinal sin, I know, I'm going to get someone to say it. Support for Rochdale, of course. Support for Rochdale. Rochdale is going through, it's a sorrow city, Rochdale. It's a city that's not even got a voice at this moment in time. It's coming across more like a murmur. And when you see the emotion and the heartache and the way that city's been ripped apart, the way that systematically you've got abused victim after abused victim that can tell you story after story, and every time it's the same. We've had no support, we've had no help, and you just look at it and you think, as a human being, how can you not report on that? So that's why I love Rochdale, I love Billy, I love Danny, I love all the survivors, you know, I love Linda, you know. Samantha, I haven't spoke to Samantha in ages. Um, I just friended her on Facebook, but I hope she's doing absolutely fantastic. I hope she's mentally in the right place. You know, these are not people that are forgotten about. My thing, I would love it if Samantha could get involved with what Pag's doing. Um, Now I don't know her personal feelings, same again, because we've not spoke for a while. I've been so busy in getting conversations from all different directions, you know. Yeah, real people in Rochdale. You know where you stand with Rochdale folk. As with Mancunians. That's why I love the North. The North, you know where you're at. London's a little bit, you know, you don't know. Um, there's a lot of different feelings and emotions and emotionless feelings in London. There's a lot of disregarding going on in London where everyone's too busy to actually care, you know. Nero coffee. You can't ask someone for the time in London. Yeah, that's, you know, people haven't got the time. It's That's what I like about England and Manchester, the North rather, England. Um, I can walk past, even looking the way I look, you know, because you've got to understand that I sometimes, when I walk, you do get the feeling people don't know how to judge you, you know, because of stereotypes, everything. But you know what really warms my heart and what makes me make that feeling go away? Don't make me feel bitter. Don't make me then want to hate white people because the average white person who's just totally been ignorant and kind of done whatever they've done or treated me like I'm some kind of whatever. In reality, I'm probably smarter than you. You know what I mean? But this happens. Connotations, we all stereotype anyway. But what makes it really worthwhile is when the majority of the time that I'm walking around, even regardless of the movement, I'm talking about real life, whether I be getting on a bus or whether I be going in the shop, when I'm having a crack and a joke with normal people, folk, when I'm walking past people as they're walking the dog, and I'm just saying morning, and the look they give me as if to say good morning and how are you, and I hope you do well with the rest of your journey. That is when you know that multiculturalism can work, does work. We've got respect, we've got tolerance, we've got it all there. So we don't want to lose facts of that, and we don't want to then get into this wobble where we start thinking that white people hate black people hate white people, Muslims hate fucking everyone, we all hate Muslim. It's like, it is, see, it's a false narrative that is put into us when we know that no matter where we go when we walk out of this door, you're going to encounter someone that's good, someone that's bad. And they can have all different faiths, they can have all different skin colours. And that's what I love about this movement, and that's what I love about my life. That's why I love people, because I've met people of all different shapes and sizes. I don't, you know, it could be 35 stone. I'm not going to sit there and treat you like, oh, you could be the most beautiful person inside. I don't give a shit. Seriously, don't. Wish you probably could try and lose a little bit more weight to improve your life further on down the line. But hey ho, I'm not perfect. Tommy is controlled opposition. Right, well, let's get on that. I don't know that. I can't say that. I'll get onto the Tony thing in a bit, Sarah. That's all right. I don't know. I don't know. Some people have put that out there. I can't prove it. some people have tried and done the Zionist thing, and he said something in the video, saying again, even if he was joking, the fact that people already suspect you of that, it's an ill-timed joke. So you've only fed into that by kind of taking the piss out of it. If you was taking the piss out of it, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know, do we? I don't know. People have accused me of being a paid, controlled infiltrator. People have accused Tony Bugle of being paid, controlled infiltrator. So at this moment, I have no idea. I've no idea. Do I what? I'm prepared to believe anything at this moment in time because there is so much craziness going on in this movement that it's not finished yet. There is more. I'll guarantee now. Do not think that that video will be the last. Do not think the James will be the last. This is going to carry on and carry on. So it's. I'm just saying the same thing as I said 8 months ago. But Tommy being a controlled opposition. It's a hell of an accusation. I think what he's doing it for, I think he's got genuine concerns. However, his real life persona, we know he's not a squeaky clean individual. That real life persona is almost on the verge of breaking him. Now, I don't want it to. I'm not asking it to. But I think this is only going one way. Now, the question is when that break happens, because in reality, I will say it right now, you can see the break now in real time. You can see the break in the movement now in real time. The question is, when that break happens, are people going to be honest going all the way back about the whole picture? Or are we going to utilize that as justification as to protect an individual no matter what's been said, what's been done? That is what really where we're getting at. He's travelled to Israel with Brian of London. I don't even know. Don't even know who Brian is. So Rebel Media's gone. Well, I don't watch Rebel Media anymore. And a lot of people were saying, you know, that the infiltration's through there. A lot of people have said through Ezra that there's some link there. I've never looked it up because I'm not. You know what? The Jew Israel Palestine thing. I'm really not interested. I've never made that a part of my battle. I'm never going to stand there and go, I fight for Israel, I fight for Palestine. I am fighting for what happened in Manchester. I am fighting on a more broader level for what I can see going on in this country. That has piss all to do with Israel. Now, whether it's being financed, that could be. But let's have it right. If we're getting financed through infiltration, it won't be just Israel that's doing it. There'll be infiltration from everywhere and from all types of influences to confuse the people. So, right, Rose, come on, Rose. We need to get together and have a nice little chat, because our little chats and little texts that we had not so long back was very, very intriguing, very intelligent, and you've got a lot to say, girl. No, I haven't. Oh, there's my alarm. No, I haven't seen Lauren's doc. So, where do we end this? Positivity. That's where I want to end it. Rose English is a smarty ass, and no one likes a smart ass, my mother used to always say. Positivity. This movement has got everything it needs to succeed. everything it needs. There's nothing in it, right? It's also got everything in it that's going to rip it apart, that's going to feed easy ammunition that will then destroy it and then probably anger it. And because we're not intelligent enough to see that probably we've caused a little bit of that ourselves, we've got more mad rather than in hindsight thought, no, we should be smarter. So if anything, for me, this year has been probably the worst 2 months in the 2 years in terms of news and ups and downs of my kind of YouTube career, as it were. So I would like to think that it can't get any worse. And as people now, we've all got to intelligently think of how we want to move forward, knowing the game that we're in, appreciating the game that we're in, and try to play the game within that game. Which, in a sense, even if people see that as a weakness, it's not a weakness. That is a strength, because you will become untouchable. And that is the beauty. You want to become untouchable. You don't want to become so abrasive that they can fight you with that, and they will have the legitimacy to do it because of your straw man. So it's what I've always been saying. I do feel like I'm kind of repeating the same old stuff. Even the pissing movement, I do. Honestly, I've got so much love and affection for this movement and a lot of people within it. And I want it to succeed. Whether it's going to be through the yellow vest, I don't know. I don't know. Unless, I will say this, unless the yellow vest smartens up, gets a little bit of hierarchy going on, a little bit of maturity, you know. The movement is less angry now. Yeah. You know, I think you're very right there, because you could see it. There was I guess I noticed it from the Day for Freedom. That's when things went Pete Tong for me. I started seeing things, started hearing things. Shortly after that, Tommy got incarcerated. That's when the fractures, the emotional fractures, were so visible in this movement that it freaked me out. It freaked me out. For the first time, I thought, people want to be violent. People have lost the patience. Because don't forget, I first come into this movement with, when I'm coming to a march where I'd never been to marches, so me March 2, March 3, March 4, it was lovely. People were almost placid. You could not see why, because they were holding up a Union Jack flag, why they were getting grief, because there was nothing in the movement to suggest that. I was getting people who were shaking my hands with me going, I'm not racist, and I'm looking in the eye and I am feeling sorry for the fact that they've had to say that to me. It's like, you don't have to capitulate to me. I'm with you. What is a shame that you feel that you've got to say that to me to validate your position within this. You know, I can see that most of the people within the movement are good, but you've got other elements that, and Great Britain I spoke about before. In some ways, the louder voices have been the more angry voices that have maybe started things going downhill to a degree. Believes it. Yeah, lies alive. Yeah, true. The vets, yeah, I've got a lot of love and respect for the vets. Same again, very honourable. There's a couple of members in there that I don't see eye to eye with, I've got to say that. There are a couple of members that spoke to me in such a way that I'm like, what, really? You expect me to respect you after that? I've been verbally attacked on the comment section, and I've been swore at and verbally attacked through probably as a private message. Won't say the person's name, and I won't say the comment doesn't need to go there. All I am going to say is that there was a wave at that time that because I was perceived to be negative in regards to a talking point that is still bona fide today, people perceived me as the one that was trying to rip things apart. When, same again, fast forward to where we are now, then think about that for 20 seconds and then rewind back to them videos I've done about Simon Bean. Did I have a point? Was my ultimate objective to split the movement in apart, or was it to literally go, guys, we're being a bit, we're kind of being a bit ragged here, we're being a bit loose there, I can see the flaws where you're getting called that there, and all it was is because an integral person disagreed with the way I was, even if the majority of people within the vets were going, Phil, I ain't got a fault with what you just said there. It didn't matter because the one with the loudest voice set the tone. Okay? I met Dan. Seen Dan a few weeks ago when I met a few DFLA lads because the DFLA wanted some footage from me. So I went and met them, Justin and Gary, and Dan was there, Dan Devitt. We had a lovely couple of hours together. I left them playing bloody bingo in a pub in Stockport. They were mad on it. They wanted me to stay, but I'm like, nah. But Dan, I agreed with everything he said in that video. Pity he didn't actually say that vocally at the time, because that might have added a little bit of weight to the argument. So it was the same again. It wasn't ripping it down. I was doing that out of sheer love from what I could see from the vets in the beginning. There was against terrorism. There was against extremism. Now all of a sudden you're anti-Islam. So you have shifted, even if you don't want to admit it. Even if emotionally you've drawn yourself to that position, you've still got to admit that you have made that shift. And I was just acknowledging the fact. So I still love the vets. But you've got to acknowledge with that shift, like Simon said, the vets are not turning out because the vets, some of them could see that it was a little bit, it's getting a little bit heavy, And sometimes it's not so much the message that we first started out with. So it's ironing the creases. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just not going to be all frilly and fluffy and lovely when I can see that there's something that's not quite right. I'm trying to be as straight talking as possible, but I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. I'm trying to not upset as many people as possible. It's just like now you've asked me certain questions about Tommy, about James, I'll be as honest as I can. I'm not doing a rip them down, but I'm doing what I can see as obvious. And even if you love the guys, you've got to go, well, yeah, I still hope he succeeds. I still hope they do this. I still, whatever. But yeah. If I'm caught saying something to whatever on the street, I've got to pay the consequences for that. If I'm caught doing a video saying this, that, and that, then I've got to pay the consequences. No, it's just banter. People are not going to have that. Oh, Sarah, John Lawrence. Right, Jesus. Right, John Lawrence. John Lawrence is a lovely person. John Lawrence, personally, I think, was fed negative narratives about what I was doing and ultimately took the Kool-Aid and then done something that he probably regrets, but probably within himself cannot articulate why he'd done it and if he's remorseful for it. Because I've seen him. I've spoke to John. And John he could not do it. Now, all I could do is shake John by the hand, wish him the best of luck moving forward, and tell him I've got no hard feelings. But he could not address the issue. Now, what I will say is, there was someone very close to John that made that meeting possible, and that was Joel. Now, what I would like to say to Joel is, mate, you are an amazing guy. Thank you for trying that. because Joel and I had a brief conversation roughly about 3 to 4 weeks ago. I was on my way to Rochdale. It was the day when I interviewed Gemma, and Gemma was a PAG worker that had discovered an international paedophile ring through Facebook. It was exactly the same day. Unbeknownst to me, I'm walking through Piccadilly. I'm on my way down to Victoria Station to get the tram to Rochdale. I see a yellow vest, but then I see a lefty yellow vest thing literally within 20 yards of one another, screaming and shouting at one another, but all on megaphones and stuff. Look ugly, look crap. It looked like, what is the point? Is that what you want to achieve? That's how it looked to me. There was nothing positive. There was nothing that the average person walking down the street is going to go, yeah, that looks like something to believe in. It did look like that. It just looked like a tit for tat, and on both sides, you know, the numbers were poor. There was John, there was Joel, there was John's missus, there was James, and there was several other members of the Manchester contingent that I was very close with that ostracised me through Facebook, through everything else. Now, what was very strange is that there was, when I sat down, I walked right up to the march. When I got there, I had no intention of filming it because one, I was doing other things anyway, and two, I'll be honest with you, I felt mentally sore about the amount of people in there that I knew had said certain things online about me, that I knew had shared certain posts about me in order to discredit me. I knew him and I'd read the post, I'd read the screenshots, people have told me. So it's a weird sensation when someone's right there, you've not spoke to them, but you know they've been slagging you off royal online for the past 6 months, right? So that's where I was at. So it wasn't like, oh, how you doing, guys? Like, I'm going to be Mr. Genuine and just pretend. No, I just stood there. I was not confrontational or whatnot. But I tell you one thing that was very, very, very strange is that I felt empowered compared to how I was made to feel last year. I stood there and I looked at these group of people and I thought, wow, you probably had the power and the numbers over me now. Back then, with what you done, the way you done it, you probably made a lot of people listen to what you were saying back then because of what you done and the way you done it. And now look at you, and I now think that your power's evaporated. I think you've got nothing left. The energy that you're exuding is nothing but negative energy. So I stood there and I felt good. I did not rub it in anyone's face. I just sat. Joel come up to me, and I did not know how to take Joel at the minute, because I'm thinking, what's he gonna say? Because they'd all said nothing. None of them have reached me in between the months of me getting all this kind of online stuff. They said now I was ostracised. I'm the only one in Manchester, one on my own, when in reality, there was like, it started 10 strong. You know what I mean? So all these guys have done what they've done. They've been spreading malicious gossip. You know what I mean? Joel come up to me and he said certain things. The one thing he did say is that, you know what? This is sad, Phil. He said, you're sat here now and I'm literally 10 yards away from people with yellow vests on. They knew I was there because they were turning around, looking at me. And these are people that had interviewed. Yeah? I'm not going to name names, but these are people that had interviewed. And now, because the narrative is, no, don't even want to know him. So it's like, what? I'm fine. I'm covered in PAG. I'm doing conscious, positive stuff. Even if it's not getting the views, I'm feeling great. And I'm giving Rochdale a voice, which is much needed, rather than standing in some town centre looking like a sorry git, shouting at the left, when all they want you to do is shout at you so they can go click, click, look at these bunch of racists. You know what I mean? So this is where I'm at now. Mentally, I'm beyond all this. Let's challenge the left. The left are crazy. You're only giving them what they want. So it's a wasted journey. So Joel said to me, I can't believe that out of everything that we've done, Phil, knowing that I've been to many marches with him and many people within that yellow vest thing that was there, Only him and another beautiful lady called Diane, thank you, Diane, were the only two people who were prominent to me in the movement in the early days that had the balls to come up to me and talk to me like a normal human being. Not one of them, not one. There was at least four of them there that didn't even come up. Yeah, he's to me just stood there. They could have come up, just said hello, even if they don't like me or no, none of that. So it's like whatever. Not making no big moves, but I felt better. So the following week, or the following couple of weeks, the opening day at PAG in Rochdale, Joel turned up. Now I'm interviewing Danny at the back. Joel sticks his head out the back door, and I'm like, "You all right, Joel? How you doing? Nice one." Because I respected the fact that out of everyone, he was the only one who had the balls. Even though he probably might have looked like, what you're talking to him for. There'd be an element of that. So he come up, and I later find out in PAG that John's there as well. I'm like, because honestly, this shit's not resolved. It's not resolved. So I'm like, well, John's made no attempt to contact me. It's not for me to contact him because it wasn't me that done what he'd done. You know what I mean? I was not the one. I've only promoted John in a positive way. So I had every right to do that video, to give him the fingers up, and the people behind him, because it was the people behind him that got John to do what he'd done. John is not like that as an individual. He is a gentle giant. So that's what hurt me most about that. The fact that, one, I promoted the arse off that lovely geezer, yeah? And the two, everything I've now done for that geezer, people around him are going, you know why he done that, John, don't you? You know why he come to see you when you were stabbed, John? It was only to get views. It was only to get an interview. They were just totally brainwashing John. So then, a couple of months later, John comes running out, we call him Blue Pill Phil. So I psychoanalyzed all that crap from way back when. I did not say it on certain videos that pinpoint precise, but people weren't in the mood for me saying that anyway, because I was Mr. Negative when I was always kind of coming out. But this is what was happening. So with John rather, he come to me and he explained that he was, he appreciated all my work that I'm doing with PAG. I'm like, right, fine. So I said to John, and I'm going to be honest, I said, mate, you do know why I'm doing this stuff now, don't you? And this was in order to draw the talking point out, draw the elephant in the room out, okay? Now, Janea English was stood beside me when this happened, so Janea can verify this. I said to John, the reason why I'm doing this, PAG, right, even though you're saying to me now that you've complimented me on my work, but you've never commented openly. You've never shared any of my stuff on your Facebook, from what I can see. So, then words are a little bit light, if I'm going to be honest. If that's all you've got to say to me, if that's the first time you spoke to me since all that event, that sounds a little bit like you, a little bit soft. So, it was probably an awkward moment for him, so I'll get that. But you've got to hold your hands up. You've got to hold your hands up. So I said to him, right, well, the reason why I'm covering PAG now, the major reason is because I felt so ostracized because of certain things I was saying and because of the stream and everything else that, even Meet Great Britain, I was talking before. He remembers distinctly one video where there was, in the comments section, people were that angry and that not happy about the way I'd come across. They were writing, unsubbed, I've had enough of this, I'm out of there. And I've not done anything wrong, I'm just saying it as it is. But because it's a bitter pill to swallow, it created the vibe that I was wrong, rather than, why don't you just acknowledge what is actually going on? So still, even to this day now, I feel great. Because I feel I left at the right time. I feel the reason why I left at the right time. And I feel what was going on and what I was saying at the right time was fucking spot on. So I feel totally Vindicated. So I was making the point to John, right, I've only done this because you guys have done this to me. I've had no option because I can't keep making videos when I don't feel the way the echo chamber wants me to feel, and they're not acknowledging the way I feel because they keep slamming me down. So I decided to go, you know what? I'm going to go over there because them guys are not treating me the way a lot of you guys are treating me at the moment. And that's it. And then ever since then, I've got more and more into Rochdale, listened to more and more, and I'm like, whoa, these guys need an embedded reporter with them. Seriously, because there's so many stories, there's so many different backstories. So that's when I started to mentally think, you know what? If we can do this to every freaking council, we can show that pattern, highlight that. That not only is positive, but what can they say? Can they call you racist? Can you call you Islamophobe because you're highlighting the corruption within the very councils where we have all these grooming problems? Boom, that is it. But there's not many people doing it. And that, I don't know whether I'm right and wrong in saying that or thinking that, but I think it's a freaking goer. I'm just looking the slight impact I've had with Rochdale, just concentrating on them and keep pushing them out, even though they've got their own individual platforms and they're doing mint. But on YouTube, they've got a quiet voice. Labour councils, yeah, exactly, because they're all kind of Labour run, and Rochdale's no different. Met who? Pablo? Nanny Robinson, right. I spoke to Nanny just before. If anyone's watched, did anyone watch that video I done with Nanny with the poem? I love that. I did enjoy doing that. It was a bit cheeky, particularly robbing the voices video clips, but I loved it. I loved it with the hip hop and the nodding the head and stuff. It wasn't a very important video, but I loved it, and it was a good way to put her poem in and make it a little bit something more different. But Nanny, I did speak to her just before, or no, just after I'd put that out. And about Nanny, from what I got in the brief conversation I had, oh, I didn't read that comment. Oh, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. In the brief comment that I had, Nanny Robinson is feeling somewhat disorientated right now. And I think in terms, I'm not going to put words in Nanny's mouth by any means. She'd have to say that herself. But I think she's just a little bit. She actually felt before Christmas about just blowing it all, not bothering, you know. And this is the negative effect that everyone has, you know. And these are people who are high profile as well as people who are like yourself. So this is why I've done this stream, because everyone's feeling it. Everyone, no matter who we're talked to, you know, there's not a lot of positivity in the movement in terms of, you can see it's almost like it's fragile. It's so fragile. There's no strength to it. There's no integrity. The integrity is breaking off everywhere with little stupid videos and blah blah blah. But that's how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that. We're all on a journey. Yeah, come a long way, and it's refreshing to see things from your angle. Well, thank you, sir. It's just a angle in it, you know. We are free range slaves. You bang on right there, mate. Oh, gee. Sarah, do you want the lowdown of everyone on YouTube or what? What's going on here? Let me get me Rolodex out and we'll just go through, keep naming names, and I'll tell you how they all feel. Jeez, I'm bread. What am I, like, roller social worker or something? Come on, Sarah, get them names out. Who else have you not spoke to in 10 years? I might know how they're feeling as well. I do love you, Sarah, you know that. Balance, yeah, balance. Always about balance. It's hard to have balance. It's hard because when you're agitated, when you're not being listened to, when you're being misconstrued, when you're being lied about, why should you have balance? So I get that. But if you don't have that balance, it's creating something. as much as it's as simple as this, isn't it? We all know to be the bigger and better person. If someone's going to be violent with you in the street, yeah, you know, with some of us have got the disposition where I ain't taking that. I'll be violent back. You've got the right to self-defend and blah blah blah. But in a sense, being the bigger and better person and walking away from it is far more effective than standing there and just, you know what I mean? So we know that, but your emotion tells you to kick the shit out of that person that's just violated you. So that's what I feel we're doing here now. We're acting like, come on, I don't care. When in reality, we know that that don't look good. And in some ways, it could be seen as disproportionate. And in some ways, then you have took the role of being the aggressor, even if you were kind of goaded into that position. That's how I see things. Phil, you carry on doing your good work. Cheers, King John. Am I one of your princes then? Or what? Am I Prince Philip? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Definitely not. Right? Really, in Glasgow, right? So when it happens in Glasgow, is it positive? Are people. Oh, cheers, Sarah. Thanks a lot. You know I'm only ribbing you. You know I'm not going to laugh. Um, how's it going? In terms of, is anyone kind of trying to do the right thing with that? Because this is the same thing again. If you've got different cities, is there a collective force that's a joining them mentally between different the individual cities, or is Glasgow kind of nothing to do with what's in London, or you know? So I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, because in reality, what's going on in Manchester that could be attributed to what's going on in Glasgow because of the yellow vest, regardless. So people in Manchester go, well, hold on, we're nothing to do with what's going on in Glasgow. If someone's just done something in Glasgow that's negative, that's not us. But then the obvious person external from it all will go, well, you're wearing the same bleeding yellow vest. So that's where the leaderless thing is quite dangerous. Because then what you're doing, you're preying on the fact that you're expecting every member to conduct themselves in such an uber positive way when no one's put out any manifesto on the edicts on how a code of conduct when you're on marches or even on social media. It sounds really intricate, but if you do iron that out and you get that thought out to people, I mean, same again. What I've noticed over the years, over the years that I've been doing this. Remember when I was pretty much one of the first ones to say stop drinking on marches? Remember? Remember the shit I got for that? I remember in comment sections people like proper getting on my case, but not to me, but to each other in the comment sections. So they'd be like, who does this Phil think he is telling people not to drink? I'm not telling people not to drink. You can have an IV dripping with whiskey and all I want. You can do what you want. I don't care. All I'm saying is the look of it and the way you act when you kind of had a few bevies because you've had a sesh of it, because you've had 6 beers in your. It doesn't look good when you're then singing songs and because you're slightly inebriated. The chances are it's going to come out a wrong way, or you're going to sing songs where you're sticking the fingers up, which then doesn't look good. So I was saying all them things because I could see it, and I'm like, this ain't looking good. I got attacked for it. I got marginalised. Now, one thing I will say, I do not see anyone with cans when I'm watching other streams now because I haven't done matches in quite a few months. But from what I've seen, that has kind of gone out of it. Now that was only a common sense point. It wasn't being negative. It was common sense. If you keep that connotation in, then you're going to get in the headlines, aren't you? As well as being racist, as well as being this, as well as being that. They're all pissed up walking down the streets with cans of beer. So it's common sense talking points because the movement as such, I do feel, is very much in its infancy, which goes back again to what someone was saying before about this is a multi-generational problem. So it may take a generation to sort this out and get a movement that is totally flawless that you can't touch. And then you've got something probably politically that is going to take down the establishment because you're big enough and strong enough to do it. I stopped going on marches. Too much skunk and pisses. Well, like I say, I don't see that so much now, but I was, even from the first march, UK for Freedom, which later ended up with me in a viral video, I was seeing geezers passing round backpacks. Guys were going round the back of the mates, unzipping the backpack, passing 3 or 4 cans, zipping it up, and then I'm like, fucking hell, that don't look good. And 4 hours down the line, you're going to be pissed. So then, if you get a little bit of agitation from the police, you're not going to be of sound mind and body to be able to deal with that in a rational way because you're inebriated. So it only brings certain things, and then you can't go, well, the police just hit me over the head, because he'll go, you were pissed up and you were acting like a dick, so you got that. And that's how I see it. And you know what's difficult about this? It's hard being in the middle. It's hard seeing things from both sides. And that's where I feel that it's got in trouble, and in some ways it's got me the respect of a lot of you guys as well, because I'm prepared to say it from that middle perception, and even if it gives me crap. But it'd be easy for me just to blow smoke apart people's asses all day long and say, everything's fine, come on, let's just do it. No, because when you can see that there's fundamental flaws, when you can see the bridge you're about to cross has got some wooden slats missing, you're probably better mentioning it to people, because if they can't see it, they're going right through it, so just out of sheer love. Jesus, Great Brit, I've got a proper brain. That's a bit of propaganda, isn't it, mate? Jesus. Don't be saying that to people, giving people the wrong impression. So I do believe there's going to be some kind of marches going on in Manchester and I think, is it Glasgow? I disagree with you with Moss. Phil, I disagree you with what? You'll have to make that a bit more clear. Whether you got the words in the wrong way, I'm not sure what you were getting at. Oh, cheers, mate. Cheers. I miss going on marches. I do. I miss the buzz. I miss the adrenaline. What I don't miss is programming, inputting information till about 4 or 5 in the morning, because that used to always happen on marches. But I always wanted to get as much footage out as possible. I think it's funny because the other day I uploaded a clip at 6:15, and someone put in the comments section, goes, "Really, Phil? It's 6:15 in the morning." I'm like, dude, I'm getting out before work. I'm an early bird. Oh, nice one. Thank you, son. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna probably wrap it up. I've way exceeded the hour. Been going on. Are you or going to Sunderland again, Phil? At this moment, I've not planned on anything, because I'm out of the echo chamber, so I've no idea what's going on in Sunderland. Same again, I love the Sunderland people. Pretty much regard it the same as Rochdale. Straight talking people. With a lot. I disagree on a lot, but watch you, because at least you don't follow talking points. Sorry, come along first, dodgy key, but rubbish. Right, okay. Right. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, mate, we all disagree with people. I wouldn't want you to think that everything I say is right, because I know I'm not. I try and be as honest and as fair and as accurate and see it from both sides, which is uncomfortable hearing sometimes, but I will try and do it like that. Um, and the more I do that, the more I'll feel better about myself. And then moving forward, if people appreciate it, if people want to kind of criticize me for it. Bye, guys. Anyone jumping off? I'm going to be jumping off anyway, but if you go in now, thank you. So, yeah, you know what? I've loved this stream. It's been going on for 1 hour, 40 minutes. And I hope everyone takes something positive from this. Don't see this as a negative. I'm not. I'm not, because I love it, because I really wanted to kind of connect with you guys tonight. Nice one, Pablo. Nice one. Okay, right, I'm going because people are dropping off. No problem. I get it. You have a brilliant Friday night. Have a brilliant weekend. And you know what, guys? Just keep your eye on the channel because I may be going somewhere in the next few days in order to review something that has been on my mind. I don't want to say too much. Do you agree that the best band from Manchester, the Stone Roses? Jesus Christ. To me, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, my wife would probably. My wife's done that Spike Island and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't into that. I was DJing. I was into more different kind of sounds at that time. I touched on a little bit of the Manchester sound, but I wasn't totally devoted. Stone Roses, for me, there's only one tune, Fool's Gold. I wasn't into the other stuff. Fool's Gold, I mean, the way they kind of used the funky drummer, James Brown, it was funky as... Ugh, it was lovely. Top tune. The Mondays, Happy Mondays. Well, oh my God, so you're going to get me into this now, aren't you? Night, guys, night. Jesus, Stone Roses, Happy Mondays. Out of them, then you've got the Smiths, and you've got, oh come on, then you've got Oasis. I mean, Oasis are blues, so I can't honestly. I've got to fulfil my conformity bias and say it ain't Oasis. It ain't Oasis, and I can't do it because he spews too much anti-red and pro-City stuff, and I don't like it. One, because I'm a United fan, but two, don't keep rubbing our nose in it as well. Even though we probably done it for 20 years when you guys were winning nothing, but that's not the point. Yeah, I know there's so many different bands. It's hard to break down. And same again, whatever I say now, everyone's going to have their own opinion anyway. So I think there's been loads of bands. There's obviously what has shown is that Manchester is very musically talented city for whatever reason, whether it be because of the strifes that we've had. I think that musically we have got a hell of a lot to offer, no matter what genre, whether it be black music, whether it be indie, or whatever music it may be. Manchester has always got a scene of scenes and it is undiscovered. It's kind of people have walked away from it a little bit and they're not polarising it because everything has to centralise around London. It's like, oh no, Manchester's still got it. Come on, Great Brit. Seriously. Seriously. Do I have to find myself a new moderator, pal? Because that is just what you call winding me up, mate. 5-0. Yeah, I know it was 5-0. And mate, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Oh, look, where's it going now? Bowlers, Manx. Oh, look, Red Everton. Oh, he's setting everyone bowlers. See, everyone's coming out now with their past. Jeez. The Gallery. That was a place where I used to frequent, the International 2. Conspiracy. There used to be a bar called Conspiracy. I DJ'd in there in Manchester back in the day. It was big. 21 Piccadilly. That was a big place. Coco Savannahs. That was another place that we used to go to. The Playpen. The Revolution. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where else? Where else? There was a club. The Empress. 808 State were playing. Hippos. Mate, don't get me going. Rafters. Rafters. Freaking hell, you going? Yeah, Tony Wilson. Tony Wilson was an innovator, without a doubt. He loved the Manchester music scene and he done so much to promote it. I don't think he was into black music that much, but hey ho, the guy was a star. Seriously was. And I was sorry to see him go. It was cancer, wasn't it? Was it cancer that took him out? I think it was really bad, that. Affleck's Palace. Jeez. The Reno. The Reno. Alec Road. Yeah. Jesus Christ. What was the other places along there? Oh, Moss Lane East. You had the Big and Little Alec. Yeah. Dougie's, the Barbers. I used to always go to Dougie's that was along there. Now you're getting me reminiscing, guys. Do you have any of your DJ stuff online? You know what? I've just this minute done a mix for a one of me mates that I used to DJ with, and I might still do some stuff with moving on. It's I might put the link up on a future video. It's a Facebook. I've done it on Facebook, and I've recorded about an 80-minute mix. It's of soul music, but it's more of the 80s. It's funny because I'm going to tell the story, then I'm going because I've got to tell it. The mix is called the Erection Section, right? Now that goes back to when I was DJing on this guy's radio station. The radio station was called Soul Nation. I was on there with a crew of people called the Rude Boys. We'd have a Friday night show between 10 and 1 every Friday. This was early 90s, 92, 93, 94. I'm in a music video, really. I don't know about that. And yeah, this show, I used to play pretty raw cuts, okay? So because it was after the Watershed, you got to 10 till 12, you get kind of whatever, but they were good tunes. From 12 to 1, we done what we called the Erection Section. Now, it don't take Einstein to work out what we were getting at with that. So there were tunes that were designed just to kind of, turn the lights down, and we loved it. People loved it on the show. So this was like early 90s, life goes on, blah, blah, blah. I'm not on radio stations anymore. The geezer who owns the station, who I'd worked with probably last year doing gigs with and that, he got back in touch with me. And unbeknown to me, he got on his own Facebook page. And I think he's trying to revive the Soul Nation days, because he said, I've got a DJ, he mentions my DJ name, and he goes, I'm going to get a mix, expertly mixed by, and then he mentions my name, called the Erection Section. And the first thing I done, I thought, you cheeky, you've took our, you know what I mean? I thought that was ours. We called our show the Erection Section, and he's now utilising that to bring back the nostalgia, but that's fine. So he gave me a track listing of 30 tracks that was from tempos of probably 60 going to about 138, all types of mainly American R&B. And I basically done a mix, and it's good, but I guarantee probably most of y'all in here now won't even like it, maybe. Not because of, it wasn't, it's not a censorship problem. It's more that it's probably soul, and just not into that genre. But I can. Oh, Gail. Oh, no way is Gail in here. I haven't seen you for ages, Gail. Hope you're all right. So yeah, in a future date, he wanted me to do the mix for Valentine's Day, so he'd actually got the mix and he's put it on Facebook. I've actually sent the link out to one or two YouTubes and said, yo, I'll check that out when you know what I mean, this is what I do with my DJ stuff. But it's not a true representative, because I do other musical kind of, I do a little bit of trap, a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of breakbeat, a little bit of like old school breaks, all kinds of stuff. So this was just a very specific mix. So yeah, I might put it up. Or what I might do, which I thought about, which is getting the time to do, is do more mixes, and not, instead of putting it on YouTube, where YouTube are just going to go, put it up on the other one. Try to think of the bloody name, BitChute. Now, how I'm going to do that, I don't know. But yeah, Summit. Hi, Chelsea girl. Hi. So yeah, these are all things for the future, but I haven't got time. Seriously. At this moment on the laptop now, I've got the last Rochdale episode, which I'm kind of editing. I'll probably get on editing that tomorrow. But I'm going to leave it here because I'm rambling on, and I'm loving your company, guys. I could stay on here for another 3 hours because I don't do streams that often, and I do love connecting with you. SoundCloud, that's another one. Yeah, I did do a couple of mixes on SoundCloud last year, I think it was. Like a housey mix and a more R&B mix. So it's something for the future, but try me, Phil. What does that mean? What does that mean? Rave on Tommy's bringing the gear. Now that That is a little bit cheeky. Phil did a fantastic video for me about my son's school. Forever thankful. Yes, Gail. And you're forever mentioning that. Seriously, you've said it enough. Thank you. I've got total respect for you. And the only reason I've done it is because of how unfortunate the world, the way it's going, that we've got a young kid being brainwashed into believing that the most important thing in his world that he's got to worry about now is the extremism within the white race in this country rather than radical Islam, which was going crazy at that time. So to then get your kids to itemize the threat and then put ISIS at the bottom, because I remember, Gail, that stuck in my head so poignantly, and I haven't watched it since they actually made it. But if I remember rightly, it was something like KKK, Britain First, da 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 da. ISIS was at the bottom, when in reality we're getting bombed to frigging high heaven, and what you could regard as right-wing, far-right terrorism was very minute. There was like one attack from nutters that were not really affiliated or whatever. There might have been plots that have been quelled, but it still didn't cover anywhere near what was going on with radical Islam. So fundamentally, they were lying to the children, and they probably still are. So that's why I took that up, Gail. And I respect the fact that you've appreciated it ever since. And I'm glad you're on this stream, because I've not seen you about, because I know you got a bit of jip as well, you were telling me on some comments, because you decided to speak out and people decided to jump down your throat. We need to concentrate on Brexit. Right, well, I kind of went on Brexit in a sense that we're getting stiffed, aren't we? That's where we're at. So whatever we do now, you've not got to play into the target of being demonized, being angry, and the way you kind of Kalergi plan. Do a phone in. You know what? Wiz actually mentioned that as an idea. I mean, same again, setting it up, time, resources. You know what I mean? I'd love to do a lot of things, but I just haven't got the resources. Yeah, I love Europe, hate the EU. I ain't being told what to do. I have got that kind of militant kind of inbred thing. I'm a decent, fair-minded person, and I will always consider other people. But don't ever try and tell me what I should be doing if I don't agree with it. But at the same time, I've got right and wrong edict, so you know I don't live by the wrong way. Because you're telling me to do the right way, then that's when I get militant. No, you know I just don't like being trod on. That's where for me, fundamentally, I fall within the libertarian. I don't fall left or right. Don't do it. We do need a successful Brexit. It needs to be successful, but is it going to be successful? I'm not buying it. I'm seriously thinking that, look at the way they've dragged it out. And they've gone from a successful democracy, voted us out, to now, well, you can't have this, you can't have that. Well, if you do this, it's going to cost you there. If you do that, we're going to build a wall there. We're going to do that. So, you know, they're already playing them kind of semantical tricks, aren't they? Fill the shell. Okay, my friend, you have got your opinion. And who I'm being a shill for? Could you kind of enlighten us on that with your words of wisdom? I've been sat here for an hour trying to vocalize in the most considerate way, and you get people that just straight out at you. So if you could verify and clarify what you mean by that, I might be able to take it up. Oh, no, I know I'm not, mate. I'm just trying to draw this Muppet out and get him to express himself in a proper way rather than just coming out with what is really nonsense. The boss. Oh, jeez. He's time out. Right, guys, I'm going to get going, but I swear to God, I could stay here all night. I could get another drink, go and get another packet of fags, and just chill, shoot the breeze with you. Because I don't do this enough. Great Brit reminds me that I don't do this enough. I don't connect via stream enough, and I know, I do know. So, right, Janae's trying to get in touch with me. I'll get in touch with you in a bit, Janae. So, guys, Chelsea girl, I need you. We all need each other. So, don't forget and don't think that I've walked away. I'm not. Certainly not. I've got your back. That's why I do this shit still. Seriously. But I love you all, even the pissing haters. That's why I say it. And I love common sense people that can see all the different angles at this moment in time. If you're not blinkered, if you're not blindly following, then they're the people I respect. Because I don't give a shit what side of the fence you're on, whether you're left or right. If you're blindly following, that is no use to me. I don't want, I want anyone within this movement to have panoramic vision in the mind. Yeah? Not blinkered, not where you're only seeing that. I want you to be able to go ooh, all the way round. Oh, cheers, Chelsea girl. Cheers, cheers. And I always will. And I always will. So there's a. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Just look out for any posts coming up tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. So, guys, I love you all. Even the haters, even the people accuse people of being shills or whatever. Seriously. Respect to everyone. And all I can say is tomorrow, let's hope it's a positive day, okay? So good night, have a great weekend, and I will see you very soon. I will try and get back on a stream as soon as I can. But please remember, you're always in my thoughts, guys, okay?